Ladies and gentlemen, there is one moment in your day when you stand at the threshold of power, a moment that is often wasted, ignored, or taken for granted. It is the moment you open your eyes each morning. In that instant, life invites you to shape it, to direct it, to command it. And what you do in those first few minutes determines what the world will return to you. If you want to change your life, you must begin by changing your mornings. Every morning, before the noise of the world invades your thoughts, you must claim a definiteness of purpose. Decide exactly who you intend to be and what you intend to accomplish. Do not let the day begin randomly. Direct it. Give it a mission. For a person without a clear morning purpose wanders, but a person with purpose marches. Next, speak to your mind with authority. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny, and they accept the instructions you give them. Use the quiet of the morning to tell yourself, I am capable, I am focused, I am moving toward success. Nothing can stop me except the limits I choose to accept. When spoken with conviction, these statements are not mere words. They are commands to the subconscious, the builder of all achievement. Then, take possession of your mind. Do not let fear, doubt, or yesterday's failures dictate the direction of today. Each sunrise is a reset, a new contract offered by life. Sign that contract with courage. You cannot control the circumstances of the world, but you can control the thoughts you launch into it. Master your thoughts, and you master your day. Master your days, and you master your life. But intention alone is not enough. You must follow it with organized action. Each morning, choose one meaningful action that brings you closer to your vision. Not 50, not 10. One action done with consistency builds momentum, and momentum becomes transformation. Success is not built in a single leap, but in daily bricks of disciplined behavior. Finally, begin your mornings with faith. Faith in your abilities. Faith in your purpose. Faith that your efforts, though small today, are preparing the path for the results you dream of. There is no power greater than the human spirit when it is armed with belief. And there is no force more devastating than a person who wakes each morning with persistence burning in their heart. A definiteness of purpose is the cornerstone of extraordinary achievement. It transforms ordinary men and women into leaders, inventors, creators, and visionaries. It is the secret that underlies every great success story, the invisible force that turns dreams into reality. Without it, talent, opportunity, and ambition are scattered like leaves in the wind. With it, even modest abilities, applied with persistence and clarity, can achieve what others deem impossible. To cultivate a definiteness of purpose is to seize control of your destiny, to command your mind, and to begin the deliberate construction of a life of achievement, satisfaction, and influence. It is not merely a habit, it is a philosophy of life, the foundation upon which all success is built. The mind is the most powerful tool you possess, yet it is also the most delicate. It accepts without question the thoughts that are repeatedly impressed upon it, and it acts upon them with a precision that can either create or destroy. This is why the practice of autosuggestion, the conscious, deliberate repetition of positive, empowering statements, holds such transformative power. By consciously directing the thoughts you feed your mind, you plant seeds in the fertile soil of the subconscious, where they grow and shape your habits, attitudes, and ultimately your destiny. Many people live their lives as though they are at the mercy of circumstance. They blame luck, heritage, or the world for the limitations they experience. Yet these limitations are often the result of thoughts and beliefs that were never consciously chosen, but merely absorbed from surroundings, culture, or past experiences. Autosuggestion allows you to take control of this process. By repeating affirmations, statements of purpose, faith, and capability, you replace the negative patterns that have unconsciously directed your life with constructive thoughts that energize action and confidence. In essence, you reprogram the mind to serve your ambitions rather than sabotage them. To practice autosuggestion effectively, one must begin with clarity of purpose. The statements you repeat must align with your definite aim. They cannot be vague or generic. For example, declaring, "I am successful," carries far less power than saying, I'm attracting opportunities that will lead me to build my business into a thriving enterprise within the next 2 years. The mind responds to specificity. It recognizes detailed images and vivid intentions and works to translate them into reality. Each repetition of such affirmations, particularly when combined with vivid mental visualization, embeds the idea in the subconscious so deeply that it begins to influence thoughts, choices, and behaviors without conscious effort. The emotional element is essential. A mere mechanical repetition of words without feeling is like planting seeds in barren soil. The statements must be spoken with belief, desire, and emotion. Feel the success, the growth, the mastery as though it is already real. The subconscious cannot distinguish between imagined and real experience when the emotions are genuine, and it begins to orchestrate circumstances to reflect the mental picture impressed upon it. This is why morning routines are so powerful. The mind is most receptive at the start of the day, and repeated affirmation at this time sets the tone for every thought, every action, and every decision that follows. Persistence is also critical. The power of autosuggestion is not instantaneous. It grows steadily over time. You must repeat your statements consistently, day after day, until they become an integral part of your mental landscape. Each repetition strengthens the neural pathways associated with positive thought and intention. Slowly, what was once conscious effort becomes habitual belief. Doubts diminish, fear retreats, and confidence rises. The subconscious, having accepted these ideas as truth, begins to attract circumstances, people, and opportunities that are consistent with the mental instructions you have provided. Autosuggestion does more than create confidence. It shapes character. As you repeatedly affirm your commitment to honesty, diligence, and integrity, these traits take root within you. The mind cannot separate repetition from reality, and the repeated emphasis on positive qualities reinforces habits that define your daily life. Even when challenges arise, the person who has disciplined their mind through affirmations responds differently. Where doubt and panic might have once taken hold, faith and composure emerge. This is the hidden power of autosuggestion. It shapes not only your external circumstances, but your internal character, producing a person capable of sustaining success over the long term. It is also crucial to recognize that autosuggestion is not a substitute for action. It is a catalyst, a primer for the mind that prepares you for effective effort. The mind will present opportunities, generate ideas, and cultivate confidence, but the physical work must follow. Affirmations guide behavior by aligning conscious choices with your goals. They reduce hesitation, strengthen persistence, and sharpen focus. The person who begins each day with deliberate, purposeful statements finds that actions, decisions, and reactions throughout the day naturally conform to the vision their mind has been programmed to achieve. One of the greatest advantages of this practice is that it overcomes the limitations imposed by past experiences. Many people are held back by memories of failure or by beliefs inherited from others. Autosuggestion allows you to rewrite these internal scripts by consistently affirming your capabilities, your resilience, and your potential for growth. You replace old patterns with new, constructive ones. You cultivate a mindset that does not see obstacles as permanent barriers, but as temporary challenges to be overcome. The subconscious mind, which once may have reinforced limitations, now works relentlessly to help you succeed. The process of autosuggestion is simple in principle, but profound in effect. Each day, speak your affirmations aloud. Write them down or visualize them in detail. Infuse them with emotion, belief, and clarity. Repeat them not once, but consistently, until they shape your thoughts, influence your choices, and direct your actions. This is the path through which thought becomes reality. Desire transforms into achievement and potential evolves into tangible success. In conclusion, the practice of autosuggestion and affirmation is the bridge between intention and accomplishment. It allows you to consciously select the beliefs and thoughts that guide your life, ensuring that your subconscious mind supports rather than undermines your goals. When practiced with discipline, emotion, and specificity, it transforms ordinary ambition into extraordinary achievement. The person who masters this principle begins each day with a mind aligned to purpose, a heart filled with confidence, and a spirit ready to act. In this way, each morning becomes not just a beginning, but a powerful step toward a life of success, fulfillment, and mastery over circumstances. The mind is the most powerful instrument you will ever possess, yet it is also the most delicate and the most easily influenced. It is capable of creating magnificent success or bringing ruinous failure, depending on which thoughts are permitted to dominate it. Mastery over the mind is not a privilege reserved for a select few. It is a skill that can be developed with intention, discipline, and persistence. To master your mind is to take control of your destiny, for the mind, when directed, becomes the architect of circumstances, the engineer of achievement, and the magnet for opportunity. Many people live without control over their thoughts. They allow external events, the opinions of others, and fleeting emotions to dictate their mental state. One moment they are confident, the next anxious, one day inspired, the next despondent. Such inconsistency is the enemy of progress. The person who fails to command their mind is like a ship at sea without a captain, constantly tossed by the waves of circumstance, never reaching a predetermined destination. Mastery over the mind begins with recognizing that your thoughts are under your authority, that no external force can compel you to think in any direction without your consent. Once you accept this responsibility, you begin to understand that your mind can be your greatest ally or your most dangerous adversary. Control begins with awareness. Observe the quality of your thoughts, the tone of your inner dialogue, and the direction in which your mind naturally drifts. Most people are unaware of how much time is spent in negative or unproductive thinking. Criticism, fear, doubt, and resentment are habitual intruders that erode confidence and sabotage achievement. By simply becoming aware of these patterns, you create the opportunity to redirect them. The person who masters their mind does not suppress thoughts. They consciously choose which thoughts to dwell upon, which to feed, and which to discard. In this way, mental energy is conserved and directed toward creation rather than distraction. Visualization and mental rehearsal are critical tools in the mastery of the mind. The subconscious does not distinguish between experiences vividly imagined and experiences physically lived. By repeatedly imagining the successful completion of goals, the resolution of challenges, and the manifestation of desires, the mind is trained to perceive these outcomes as possible, achievable, and inevitable. Visualization creates a mental blueprint that directs effort, sharpens focus, and strengthens confidence. When the mind is trained to see success clearly, the body and habits follow suit, moving in harmony with the vision that has been internalized. Emotional discipline is equally important. The mind responds not only to ideas, but to the emotions that accompany them. Fear, anger, jealousy, and doubt are corrosive forces that cloud judgment and obstruct action. To master the mind is to recognize these emotions as signals, not commands. Observe them, understand their source, and replace them with empowering emotions, faith, determination, patience, and enthusiasm. The mastery of emotion strengthens decision-making, increases resilience, and transforms obstacles into opportunities. A calm, focused mind is capable of solving problems that would overwhelm a distracted or agitated one. Habits of thought shape character. The mind, when repeatedly exposed to certain patterns, develops preferences that become automatic. If you allow yourself to dwell on negativity, procrastination, or self-doubt, these patterns become ingrained, making it difficult to act decisively when it matters most. Conversely, deliberate and consistent practice of positive, constructive thought builds mental muscle. Each day spent focusing on gratitude, on solution-oriented thinking, and on deliberate planning reinforces the ability to think clearly under pressure. Mastery over the mind is therefore not a single act, but a daily commitment, a habit, like training a muscle, that strengthens with effort and discipline. Mastery over the mind also requires controlling the environment of the mind. The information you absorb, the company you keep, and the distractions you tolerate all influence thought patterns. A mind constantly bombarded with pessimism, triviality, or chaos will struggle to maintain focus and clarity. By selectively exposing yourself to uplifting ideas, supportive people, and disciplined routines, you create fertile ground for productive thought. The mind, like a garden, flourishes where it is nurtured and suffers where it is neglected. Mastery involves cultivating this environment with care and intention. Persistent application of mental control transforms potential into action. A person who has mastered their mind does not wait for motivation to appear. They generate it internally. They do not allow fear of failure to dictate choices. They step forward with confidence rooted in preparation and belief. They recognize that thought precedes action, that the inner state of mind determines the outer results. By consciously choosing thoughts that serve purpose, ambition, and progress, the individual creates a chain reaction that manifests in behavior, habits, and ultimately in tangible achievement. Finally, mastery over the mind is inseparable from self-belief. The mind can only produce results that it accepts as possible. Doubt undermines effort. Indecision weakens initiative. The person who exercises control over the mind cultivates unwavering faith in their ability to learn, adapt, and succeed. Every challenge is met with the confidence that a solution exists and that persistent, focused effort will uncover it. This combination of discipline, awareness, and faith creates a mental state that is impervious to discouragement and resilient in the face of setbacks. Mastery over the mind is the ultimate foundation of personal power. It is the ability to direct thoughts consciously, to maintain focus, to transform adversity into opportunity, and to generate confidence and clarity at will. Those who achieve it do not merely react to life, they shape it. They are the architects of circumstance, the designers of destiny, and the creators of their own success. Every thought becomes intentional, every action deliberate, and every day a step toward the realization of purpose. Mastery over the mind is not a destination, it is a lifelong practice. Yet those who commit to it will discover that nothing external can thwart them, nothing circumstance can overwhelm them, and nothing within themselves can limit their achievement. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. No amount of planning, visualization, or affirmation can produce results without action. Yet not all action is equal. Many people are busy every day, moving quickly and seemingly accomplishing much, yet they make little progress toward their goals. The difference lies in organization, deliberate, focused, and consistent action. Daily organized action transforms potential energy into tangible achievement. It turns intention into reality and ensures that the work you perform contributes directly to the life you aspire to create. To act effectively, one must first define priorities. The person without purpose often reacts to the urgencies of the moment, allowing distractions, interruptions, and trivialities to dictate how their time is spent. The person who succeeds recognizes that not every task carries equal weight. Each day must begin with a clear understanding of which actions will have the greatest impact on your ultimate goals. By concentrating on these high-value tasks first, you maximize the return on your effort and ensure that progress is deliberate rather than accidental. The discipline to act on what is truly important is the hallmark of organized achievement. Consistency is essential. Organized action is not about occasional bursts of effort or sporadic productivity. It is about daily commitment. Small actions, performed consistently over time, compound into extraordinary results. Each day presents an opportunity to make incremental progress. When these daily steps are carefully planned and executed, momentum builds, creating a force that carries you forward even in the face of obstacles. The power of daily organized effort is cumulative. What appears insignificant in isolation, 10 minutes of focused study, a single conversation that builds a relationship, a single act of creativity, becomes monumental when repeated day after day. Planning is a cornerstone of organized action. Every successful person understands the importance of knowing what to do and when to do it. The mind cannot focus effectively without a framework for activity. Each morning, take a moment to outline the tasks that will move you closer to your goal. Break them into manageable steps, assign priority, and allocate time deliberately. This practice eliminates wasted energy, prevents procrastination, and ensures that effort is directed with precision. A person who plans their actions carefully rarely loses time or becomes overwhelmed. because each action has a purpose and contributes to a larger strategy. Yet planning alone is insufficient. Execution is the measure of results. Action without discipline is as ineffective as planning without follow-through. The individual who masters daily organized action develops the habit of completing tasks, meeting deadlines, and maintaining momentum regardless of obstacles. They understand that the challenges of life, delays, setbacks, distractions, cannot be allowed to derail progress. The ability to maintain focus and act consistently transforms vision into reality, regardless of the difficulty of circumstances. Organized action builds both results and confidence. Each completed task reinforces belief in your capacity to achieve, creating a virtuous cycle of effort and reward. Organization also involves the intelligent delegation and elimination of unnecessary tasks. Success is rarely built on doing everything yourself. It is built on identifying what only you can do and what can be entrusted to others. Similarly, many actions may appear important but contribute little to the ultimate goal. The discipline to eliminate or minimize these low-value tasks ensures that energy and focus are reserved for what truly matters. Selective approach prevents burnout and maximizes the efficiency of each day. Organized action is therefore not just about doing more. It is about doing what matters most, consistently. Daily organized action reinforces self-discipline, a quality indispensable to long-term achievement. It is easy to act when motivated, but the person who is truly successful acts even when enthusiasm wanes, when distractions arise, or when challenges appear insurmountable. Repetition strengthens resolve, while consistent adherence to purpose-driven action builds habits that become second nature. The mind, conditioned by repeated effort, begins to anticipate action rather than procrastination, and the body follows suit. The result is a lifestyle in which productivity is automatic and progress becomes inevitable. The value of reflection should not be overlooked. At the end of each day, review the actions taken, assess their effectiveness, and adjust future plans accordingly. This practice ensures that effort is continually refined and optimized. Organized action is therefore a dynamic process, not a static routine. It involves not just acting, but acting intelligently, learning from experience, and continuously improving. Over time, this disciplined approach develops efficiency, sharpens judgment, and multiplies results beyond what casual effort could achieve. It is through daily organized action that goals are realized and dreams take form. Inspiration, desire, and faith are all essential, but they cannot replace the necessity of deliberate effort. The individual who achieves greatness understands that each day is an opportunity to create progress, to build momentum, and to move closer to their vision. By taking focused, purposeful action every morning and sustaining it throughout the day, life is no longer a matter of chance or circumstance. Each day becomes a building block, and the accumulation of these days forms the foundation of extraordinary achievement. In conclusion, daily organized action is the engine of success. It transforms thought into reality, intention into achievement, and potential into tangible results. The person who plans carefully, prioritizes effectively, executes consistently, and learns continuously wields power over their life that few others can match. Each action, when performed with clarity, discipline, and persistence, adds weight to your progress and momentum to your journey. By mastering the art of daily organized action, you ensure that your goals are not distant dreams but inevitable outcomes. It is in these repeated, purposeful steps that ordinary ambition is converted into extraordinary accomplishment, and a life of success is built, one deliberate action at a time. Faith is the unseen force that shapes reality. It is not a passive belief or mere hope. It is a living, dynamic conviction that what you desire is already within the grasp of your efforts, and that obstacles are merely temporary conditions to overcome. Those who achieve extraordinary success understand that talent, knowledge, and opportunity are insufficient without faith. Faith is the fuel that transforms ideas into action, setbacks into lessons, and persistence into ultimate achievement. It is the element that allows the mind to conceive of possibilities that others dismiss as impossible, and it impels the individual to continue moving forward when circumstances appear daunting. To cultivate faith, one must begin by believing in one's own abilities. Doubt is the enemy of action. Hesitation is the companion of failure. Faith, however, begins in the mind and radiates outward to influence behavior, decisions, and results. By consistently affirming your capabilities, visualizing successful outcomes, and rehearsing your achievements mentally, you train your mind to accept success as inevitable. This internal conviction acts as a magnet, attracting the people, resources, and circumstances needed to realize your goals. Faith is not mere optimism. It is a deliberate, disciplined mindset that converts desire into action and action into results. Faith is inseparable from persistence. Belief alone, without sustained effort, accomplishes little. Life is filled with obstacles, distractions, and setbacks that test resolve. Those who abandon their goals at the first sign of difficulty are denied the rewards of success. Persistence, the willingness to continue regardless of temporary failures, is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Each failure, each delay, each criticism becomes an opportunity to learn, to refine strategy, and to strengthen commitment. Persistent action, guided by unwavering faith, has the power to move mountains because it creates a momentum that eventually overcomes resistance. The combination of faith and persistence is particularly powerful because it addresses both the internal and external challenges of achievement. Faith strengthens the mind, allowing it to remain positive, resilient, and focused, even in the face of adversity. Persistence strengthens action, ensuring that effort continues without interruption, without excuse, and without surrender. Together, they create a synergy that transforms setbacks into stepping stones, mistakes into lessons, and obstacles into opportunities. The person who possesses both cannot be easily discouraged, for their vision is backed by a mind that believes and a will that acts relentlessly. Faith is reinforced through repetition and emotion. The mind responds to repeated affirmations and to feelings that accompany thought. By consciously engaging in practices such as visualization, positive affirmation, and reflection on past successes, you strengthen faith. Emotion acts as a multiplier of belief. Enthusiasm, desire, and conviction infuse faith with energy, giving it the power to influence decisions and guide actions toward desired outcomes. A mind charged with faith becomes a formidable force, capable of overcoming fear, doubt, and external opposition. Persistence requires discipline. It is easy to act when conditions are favorable, when motivation is high, or when the path seems clear. The true test lies in continuing when difficulties arise, when criticism is harsh, or when progress appears slow. Many abandon their goals at this critical point, unaware that persistence often separates those who eventually achieve from those who fail. Each step forward, no matter how small, compounds over time, building momentum that is nearly unstoppable. Persistence is not blind stubbornness. It is guided determination, a steadfast commitment to purpose, and an unwavering refusal to surrender. Faith also enables creative problem-solving and adaptability. A mind grounded in belief sees opportunities where others see obstacles. When confronted with challenges, those who possess faith remain solution-oriented, confident that a way exists to achieve their objectives. They are not paralyzed by fear or overwhelmed by difficulties. Instead, they draw upon inner conviction, past experience, and determination to forge new paths and seize possibilities that might otherwise be overlooked. Faith, therefore, not only motivates but also directs intelligent action. Similarly, persistence reinforces resilience. Life is not a straight path, and even the most prepared and capable individuals encounter unexpected setbacks. The persistent mind treats these setbacks not as failures, but as temporary conditions to be overcome. Each challenge strengthens character, sharpens skills, and enhances wisdom. Persistence teaches patience, cultivates endurance, and instills confidence in the ability to handle adversity. It is through sustained, deliberate effort, guided by faith, that long-term success is realized. The power of faith and persistence is cumulative. Neither is effective in isolation. Faith without action remains wishful thinking. Persistence without belief becomes mechanical effort devoid of purpose. Together,